This is our interview with Anders. Really enjoyed talking with him
He's a very
about
jolly fellow. Yes. Even a bit cheeky, I'd say. Yeah.
their new album, getting into, proper corpse paint
Hmm.
placement, and really digging their have an extensive back catalog, but
And a remarkable grip on the wine.
and we had to already get a shirt from that new album
Oh,
cover.
yeah.
Oh, it's
It's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah. So anyway, let's check it out.
Check it out.
It's a good Sunday. We had some excellent weather in Sweden. We had a snowstorm last week. It was like 10 minus, and now
Oh, wow.
suddenly 15 plus degrees Celsius. And
Oh, that's good.
so it feels good.
Yeah.
Suddenly spring is arriving.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we had
good.
finally a little break. We're in Baltimore, and last week it literally poured every day of the week. I mean, poured to the point I'm at work worried about the basement, but luckily everything was okay. And then all of a sudden, like today, it's bright and sunny and probably going to be,
Yeah.
nice spring-like weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So, that sounds good. It's things are popping up. The good times are ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Spring is coming.
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
recovering. My son married into a Nepalese family. So it seems like all the sisters are getting married. So we had a big wedding reception for them last night. I always feel bad. Every time I come in with my lingerie, like the traditional Nepalese dress, my daughter-in-law always fixes me. She's like, "Oh, this is wrong. Hold on. Fix this. Can you come help me with this?"
Right. There's that. It's a cultural thing. Yeah.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was doing it wrong. Well, excellent new album for you. Wow. Love in the Twilight Gray.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah. In fact, I had it on while I was cooking breakfast too. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's great.
I think my cat likes it too. So that's good. But he's a gray cat, so maybe that's why. So can you tell us a little bit how you came to join the band and what was it like 92?
All right, back in then, quick question. We're heading out like when we went to same high school with Joachim and David, and we went to this concert in Sweden to check out Candlemass and Ice Age on a special. It was kind of where we were before we went to high school, and we saw these guys, and my brother knew them because he went to the same class as them. They were two years ahead of me, born 1970, and I'm 72. So at that time we were like, he was telling me, yeah, these guys are really into thrash metal and stuff, and underground and everything, and we were like, shit, they're heavy. And then we met them and said hi to them, and they were like, hi. And we were like, hi. You like metal? Yeah. Okay. See you guys. And then after a while, we went to the same school. We joined in, and we started to know each other. We went to the same concerts and everything, and we started to bond. Like listen to demo tapes and everything kind of music that brought us together. And they had this band Necrophobic they started, and we were having our band called Headsets, and so we were kind of we had the same interest.
Right.
And we were more like getting together, and we liked each other, hang around and everything. So it was kind of mixed, like our bass player from Headsets, Joachim Stabel. He played the bass on the second demo that Necrophobic did, which was the Unholy Prophecies demo. And later on, when the album was going to be recorded, they needed a vocal guy and they wanted me. And I say, of course, I can join. That's cool, man. I'm in the band. But the recorded album, it was very good times. And after that, it was like kind of I had this band Headsets, and we were like there was some stress about maybe we both will make it, and which band will I prioritize, if there will be for a tour, for instance, if it crashes, which band should I join, so it ended up that I stepped back from the position of lead singer in Necrophobic and kept on with Headsets, and Tobias joined the vocals, but we always related as friends, and no big issue about it. I was a couple of times guest vocals on their gigs early days, just to do Nocturnal Silence or something, or Before the Dawn, live, and etc. So we always been working together through these years. And when I joined the band in 2014 again, it was like a natural decision for me because this headsets band that I had, we transformed it into a band called Blackshine, and later that, and 2013, we did our last album with Blackshine, and we thought about, yeah, this is it. We put the band on ice for a while, and then I had nothing to do, and Alex come up to me and said, well, the story with Tobias, we don't have a vocal guy anymore. Are you up to the task, maybe? I said, yeah, I could do that. And that's the way. And then suddenly we're back on track,
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, short but sweet.
Can you remember kind of the first heavy music that you got into, like, and you were like, what is this? I need more of this.
Yeah, it was back in the 70s, 1970s, and I heard Sweet, and I heard Kiss, early albums. My cousin, he was like a total Kiss freak, and he's like a couple of years older than me, maybe 3 or 4 years older, maybe more, I think. I just for a moment, I don't know why, but he's
Right.
older than me, and he's playing drums in a band, a reggae band, but he was like a total Kiss freak. He had all the Kiss albums with the puzzles, and the dolls and
Yeah.
everything, and we were like, whoa, this is cool stuff.
Oh, I remember
And
the
they played them.
doll.
So
Yeah.
he was kind of a role model for my step into the hard rock business, and I liked this music because it was like, wow, loud and crazy, muscles and everything. I was like, "Ah." I liked
Yeah.
the explosivity, and back home, my friends that I had, they listened to ABBA, and I was like, I don't get it. And they listened to some other pop music that I didn't get because it was like eating food with no
No
spice
flavor.
in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I was like, I don't get it, but this Sweet and Kiss blow my heads off.
Yeah.
So that was the first bands that took me in the right direction, and I know that this is good. I like this. I want to explore more of it.
I think mine were Catholic school driven. For me, it was Dio Holy Diver. I saw that priest being drowned, and I was like, I don't care what
Yeah,
this is. I don't even care what this music sounds like. I'm sold
yeah, the cover. Yeah, I know
just
the
by the cover.
covers. Yeah, you see the cover and say this sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
And it
Yeah.
did. And I mean that's 100 of 100. You see that you see what you get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm,
Not subtle. Yeah.
no.
How do you think the metal scene around you has evolved? Because it seems like there's so many more new bands than back in the day when it was just a handful.
Are you sure about that? I think there were plenty of bands back then. There was even more bands back then, but they were like not every band got a record deal. Now it's easier for bands to pop up because you don't need a record deal. You can promote yourself through YouTube channels and get something kind of going on. But I think there still be the same amount of bands, I guess. But for the as you want to the way I guess you are referring to is that there are more famous bands now. There are more
Yes.
bands, but back then there were, that not some kind of bands that were more famous and stuff like that. But I guess if you were back in that days and you were into the scene, there were plenty more bands, as much as bands as there are now, I think. And I think it's easier. To if I would say if there are more bands now, because it's been back in those days, it was not acceptable to have a band to work in a hard rock band to make metal, as a music or some kind of income because
Right.
you were not that was not like a job. It was not a regular job to be a rock star, or something, fighting musician. But now it's it's everybody knows that you can live on the music if you make it, and everything. So it's hard rock as a music has been more developing as a regular income source for many people and many bands, and it's mostly understandable that they do it. Back in those days, what the fuck are you doing? Don't you standing there screaming? That is not
Right. When are you gonna get a
music.
real job? Right. What's your
Yeah, I
real
get a
job?
real job and a
Yeah.
haircut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's the other way around, so to
Right.
speak. So
Yeah.
I
I
definitely
don't.
agree with you about
Yeah.
where labels were much more controlling, about your sound and your look. And I think now you can pretty much do it yourself a lot easier.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It seems that way.
And
Yeah,
it's
I
a
like
lot of more. It's a higher. You don't go for the biggest bands anymore. It's more like you go for the bands that most people don't hear about. And the deeper the underground, the deeper the core, the better it is, you know. So it's more free to do what you want, maybe you can say. You're not controlled to do that and that anymore. It's more freedom in the musical creativity, I guess.
Who do you get compared? Do people make comparisons about your vocals? And if they do, like, do you agree with who they compare you to? Like, who do you get compared to?
No, I never heard anybody compare me to a
Really?
vocal guy. Maybe somebody in my own vocals. Uh, Pepper Keenan, they said something like with my singing my
Okay.
regular voice. But in last day, there was some guy that said like, "Hey man, you sound like Abbat certain places in the new album. That is good, you know."
Bah.
So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Abbat, you know,
That's a good
but I
one.
don't. Yeah, but I don't know if anybody compared me to sound exactly like that person or anything. So I guess it's a good thing then, because if you compare me to someone, and I will probably be like, oh, you think you're a copy of that guy because you sound like that one, and I think it's more better to be original, and you know nobody can compare you to it. I do my stuff, and that's the way I sound, you know, and
Yeah.
that's not a compare. Could be you can compare it sometimes to skillness and how you pronounce stuff and how your timing is, I guess.
Yeah.
But not you sound like Ronnie Dio or something, you know.
Yeah.
I never heard about it. Have you heard? Nobody said, yeah, this guy sounds like that one.
No, I just thought you might get some wild. I mean, like for example, last night at a wedding, someone told me I look like
Kenny G.
Kenny G, the jazz guy, and I was like,
I said,
okay,
I am that
I
guy.
don't see it. He has curly hair, but okay, whatever, you know. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
people have odd things.
yeah, people say
I
odd
had
things.
a patient, and I worked for a doctor, and he was a frequent flyer, and he was
Yeah.
always like, "You look just like Renee Zellweger." To the point, every time he came in, he would say, "Hi, Renee." I'd be like, "I do not."
That's kind of creepy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're the
Kind of,
copy. So
but
that's
I
good,
really,
Win. I never been compared. That's good.
I
Yeah.
like the style that you do, which is kind of similar, like in pronunciation to like a Bitchword or James from Hellripper, where I can still understand you.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm like, "Is there a lyric sheet?" No, I can still
Yeah, that's
get what
good.
you're
Yeah,
saying.
that's
Yeah.
good that you say that because pronunciation is a big part of my vocals, you know, to articulate.
Yeah.
Tell me, my voice is not like, it's
Right.
more
The
like,
cup
yeah, I
vocal
am
thing.
that one.
Right.
I like to rasp, you know, and I like to
Yeah.
roll my R's, like, you know, and everything, you know, roll my R's. Not what I meant, but the R's are rolling, you know, like Transylvanian or something. It's
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
kind of influence I got from Typo Negative, I guess, you know.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's a good thing. That's how I sound. I mean, I guess I think I have some kind of an original style in my vocals that is not comparable to anybody else.
You play guitar too?
Yeah,
Would
but
you
not
ever
in
consider
this.
doing both at once?
Yeah, dude, I did that with the other band, the Black Shine. I was a solo guitar player and the vocal guy, and of course it's a tricky situation because you're standing on the same spot, you know, you're trying to move, but you're locked to the microphone. Same
Yeah.
as you have your area where you move. But
Right.
in Necrophobic, to play just the vocals, you have the whole world. You can just focus on the vocals, and you can focus to get the audience and you know connect with them in the
Right.
best kind of way. So that's why I don't do the guitars. We were actually when we go to Baltimore on the Maryland Death Fest last year, I think. Um, because Johan couldn't make it, we had to like quick rehearse the guitars for me if it was possible that I would do his stuff, and I was not comfortable with that, you know,
Okay.
because I would stand there like I lose the powerness of connection with the crowd and just have the vocals, you know. That's what I do. If I will hang me, put a guitar on me, I will be locked up, you know, and the vocals would be more it would take some action from the guitars, and the guitars would take some action from the vocals.
Right.
So it'd be kind of a bad half breed. So that's why I can play guitars at home, but it's better for me to just focus on the vocals.
That makes sense.
We missed you. We missed you last year. We were there at MDF, but so we got caught up with seeing Deicide. They were doing the whole Legion album, and somehow we didn't make it back to you guys. But
There
we
was
did see like
plenty of
Hypocrisy.
people.
Oh
There
yeah,
was
it was
plenty of
great.
people in the big scene. It was like,
Yeah,
whoa, it's a big. I wonder if we can fill this place, and it was full. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wow, amazing, you know. And it was
I'm
a
always
good
amazed
show.
at MDF. Whenever we go, I always see clothing. It blows me away. You know, the obscure new wave of British heavy metal, a band that put out like 3 7-inches, and somehow they made a T-shirt out of it. Just
Mm.
the obscure shirts and stuff that you see there. It's just like, wow, I didn't think anybody else liked that band, but me.
Yeah.
You know?
We only had a couple of T-shirts, you know, but that since there's a situation in the United States, you have to get permit for that and permit
Oh
for
yeah.
that if you want to play. It's so hard to get to the States to play because everybody wants their cash. And
Yeah.
if you want to sell something, you have to, you know, pay tax and you have to pay
Oh,
that
yeah.
and dit and that. So we decided that if somebody else can sell this stuff, you know. But they printed some T-shirts and sold it, and it was like gone in 5 minutes or something. It was wild. There were just death threats to the guys who were selling the T-shirts,
Oh my
but
God.
there was no T-shirts left, and we were like, "What? Actually,
Wow.
that's wild."
Well, I went for the new album T-shirt as soon as I saw it. I love the
Yeah, that's a
album.
good one.
I love it. Yeah. So I couldn't wait.
He
Yeah.
broke his fingers ordering that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That artwork is the best. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
who'd come
good.
up with that neat the whole hourglass on a
On the
chain
chain.
imagery?
Yeah, the hourglass is actually this pretty big. It's like kind of a
Yeah.
half-meter long and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's actually the cover is photography and painting in this both ways. So the glass is actually real as a photo, and the flag also is real. That's what I'm showing in the Stormcrow video. I have the hourglass, and I
Yeah.
have
It's so
the
cool.
flag as well. The stuff. It's true.
That's a lot
It's
of
real.
chains in that video. A lot of
Yeah,
chains.
that's a lot of change. And I actually, that was a wild story, you know, because we had the record. Central Media said, "You're gonna do a video. We have to be released that day." And we said, like, wait a minute, if we're gonna have the release date on that, and imagine the time it will take to record a video, get all the stuff, and then since it's in it until it's done, we have only like we have to do the video today.
Oh
And it was
no.
like, okay, how do we do it? We don't have a location, we don't have a director, we don't have a plan. So actually, it was on the Monday, and we started checking out with the old guy who did Mirror Black video, and he was like, I'm done with that. I don't do it anymore. But I check with the guy who's doing the Marduk videos, and it was like, okay. And I searched the internet, and I found him, and I contacted him and said, like, "Are you ready?" And then we started to say, "Yeah, I got a director. Now we have to book the date." And then it was like, "Okay, how about 2 weeks so we can prepare some stuff, you know?" And everybody's like, "No, I can't do that." And it was a whole month was blown away because nobody could. And I was like, "How about this weekend?" I mean, we talk about 3 days.
Oh,
And
wow.
everybody said, "Yeah, that could work." And I asked Claudio, "Can you do it?" He said, "Yeah, I could do it." And then we had to find this place. And then I was like, "What am I going to do?" And I asked my wife, and she said, like, "Talk to my ex-husband. He has some location everywhere." And we find this location. He was like, "Yeah, sure. Yes, yeah. I give you the keys. It's in the box. You know, just go there. It's the address and everything." And it was just this place where a really scary old house, you know. But it was like great, and it was everything was like on a bam, got a location, bam, we got a director, bam, we gotta do it, we got a date, and then we come to the place, just location, checking it out. Day after, we got all the stuff there and started to do the video, you know, with change, we got flashing lights and everything. Everyone
Right.
was doing it like a handcraft. You one was mixing the light, you know, like this,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was blowing feathers and stuff when I doing the recordings with Joachim on the drums. So it was kind of a hack. Everybody was involved from some kind of a corner, you know, and they were recording, you know, floating around with cameras.
Yeah.
Excellent work. And then was like the day when we were done. Wow, he would do that in 4 or
Yeah.
5 days. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, yeah, I'm done. So it was in a record time to make the video. And it turned out to be that
It
great.
turned out great. Yeah.
Did you have to
Yeah.
wipe out the local hardware store of all their chains?
Of course.
They're like, yeah, don't ask. They're like,
We need 120 feet of chains. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, buy some change. Yeah, do that. You buy change, and I paint, and you there's some plastic. I don't know what plastic, but it come up to handy, you know. It was good.
I love the
Everything
other
works.
video. The other video is great too. The one where you arrive and you're setting up, and then you play the gig, and you're setting up the
Yeah.
merch. That is that a drone that did that in the intro?
Yeah, that guy. Actually, it was the record company girl called Melanie, and she was supposed to do some kind of making some photography of when we signing the album and
Yeah.
opening the album, like an opening, much more fun than just see two hands opening and stuff that people do these days.
Right.
And she bought this guy, and he was like, "Oh, I have this drone, you know," and he was filming and everything,
Wow.
and so everything was just like happening at the time. So, hey guys, you got the stuff outside? Yeah, we're here. Okay, I have some idea. And then I started the drone flowing, and we're walking inside, and everything was like, it was just happening. There was no directory or anything that told us what to do. This was just like, this is a normal day when we go to a gig. That's what we do. We go
Was the
inside, we
drone
talk to
inside
people.
too? It looks like the
Yeah,
drone
it
flew
was
around
the drone was
inside.
inside flying around, you know, and
Wow.
everything.
Okay, that's what I
I
thought.
mean, awesome.
Really
He built
wild.
it himself. Yeah, he had some 3D glasses, and we was driving it, you know, so we could see where it was. Kind of cool. It was like
Really cool.
it was awesome, cool guy. You know, I don't remember his name. I'm sucking remembering names, but that was cool. And the whole cutting of the video and everything, it was totally no director, anything. Just this is what's going on. You
You
know.
guys look better than ever. You really do. It's great.
Yeah.
Really good.
I like the shots. I was wondering if you did your own makeup or not, but there you were, like getting all
Yeah,
that.
I'm just.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
said like the guy, the filmer, he said like, well, I don't usually people when they do their corpse paint or something, they don't let people in to see how they do it. And I don't understand why there should be a problem with it. So hey, you can film me. Oh, look like I'm when you come in, like I'm surprised, you know, that you are not allowed to be. And I said, yeah, I tried to do some kind of a, oh, get out of here, but it didn't work. I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
used to it. So it was just filming, and I put my stuff on and everything. So
That was great.
Do you have a preferred brand? On occasion, we've tried to do it for some promotional stuff, and he always gets so itchy. He's like, I need to get this off. I need to get this off.
a brand of some kind of what you'd stop put on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't know. I just go inside and ask them, do you have some kind of a white shit, you know, we put in a face? Yeah, we got this. Okay, I got this. And then the black stuff, I think, is some kind of a famous brand. But I'm not a brander, and I don't know the brand, but it's like a small box.
We
So
just ordered this stuff from Amazon. It's like glue. It's really thick.
Yeah.
that's not, no, I think this is some kind of I don't know what it is. I just bought it on this kind of a store where they have this. It's
had-
it's not
I had
water
to-
paint. It's not some kind of a fancy makeup, expensive stuff. It's like the
Yeah.
regular shit, you know. Just put it white. Could be anything, you know.
As-
So I can't give you that information just to be
I got it.
supportive against that company. It would be
I had a
cool.
laugh.
That's a good thought, by the way.
I was watching, I was reviewing this new band, Cemetery Moon, out of Connecticut. And the one guy has like a full beard, so he only does his eyes. He's like,
Yeah.
forget the white.
Yeah, most people don't care. I mean, Joachim, for instance, he has white in his face and everything, but he has beards and everything. But it kind of looks cool. It looks frosty.
Yeah.
I mean, you should paint the beard, paint everything.
Yeah, I
I
definitely.
wanted to ask you
agree
that
with
the first album, The Nocturnal Silence, is so legendary, and it just was such a huge release in black metal. Do you ever feel like that some of your other records don't get as much attention because everybody gravitates so much towards that first one?
No, I think it's
It's like you had Rain and Blood You started
Yeah,
with Rain and
yeah,
Blood,
yeah,
kind of. You know what I mean?
exactly. I know what you're talking about. I know the feeling, and everybody says, but I think it's well, you have the ground, and it still has some kind of an influence on people, and that's a good thing that you have done an album that is really still makes some noise,
And you were so
And
young when you did it. Just such an accomplishment, So.
yeah, I know. When I don't know, but it turned out good. That's good. But the other albums as well is very good, and
Yeah.
I think the most people are said that Necrophobic has never done a weak album or something.
No, I
They
would
say
agree with that. Yes.
the quality is very good, and I mean I can totally agree on that because I have bands that I mean, for instance, Slayer, and I think most of the records is very good, but there's some records that I not preferring.
Right.
I rather prefer the other ones, but in Necrophobic, I think most people they they like everything.
Were you
And
surprised to hear the Slayer reunion?
no, I guess I think that the guys just making a show.
Yeah.
I mean, I was split up, and why should we split up? Yeah, it makes some noise. The last tour, like for instance, Scorpions. How
Yeah.
long have they been on their farewell tour?
Well, yeah.
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 How many years? Do you know?
It's starting to compete with
thought-
Cher at this point.
I thought it was what 2014 was going to be their
Something.
Scorpions last tour or something. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they've never stopped. So
They never stop because they feel
Yeah.
good about it, and people will always be like, "Oh, let's see Scorpions for the last time. Maybe this is the last time." So they
Right,
always
right.
come back, toot toot toot. And I think
Yeah.
Slayer as well, because maybe they were fed up with each other and said, "Yeah, this is gonna be the last one." And they saw the love and the influences that they gave to people, and the people appreciate Slayer, and they felt, "What the fuck are we gonna drop now? This is a good time to keep on doing it."
Well, and
And
I
they're still
can't
on
picture
the
them.
highlights, and everybody talking about them and this and that, So yeah, they can
Yeah,
raise the prices now.
I don't know how much older they're not getting any younger to be playing that intense music. You know what I mean? So I don't. They don't have 10 more years and then think about doing it, type of thing.
I
They
think
kind of
they
need to do
will.
it now. I think.
Yeah, they have to do it exactly. I mean, for instance, if you look at Judas Priest, for instance,
Yeah.
their last album is amazing.
Yeah.
And
Really good.
I don't know how it sounds live, but I guess it's. I mean, the guys are very old. I mean, they're up in the
Yeah.
70s, over 72, 73 or something, but they're
Yeah.
still making excellent music.
Yeah.
And to perform it live is it's a tough quest because it's kind of a the music is for elite athletes. You have to be athletes to do the music because it's so
Intense.
it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like mellow. You have to be you have to
You
be
not.
play.
You don't have
Yeah.
like your top hat like Alice Cooper. Like
No, no,
strutting
no.
around.
But Alice Cooper actually is excellent. Still doing it,
Still
and
doing it.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're doing a hell of a good job. But he's always bringing in young musicians in his band.
Yeah.
So the only original is probably himself, Alice Cooper. I mean, for instance, Judas Priest, they have still Glenn Tipton, and they have the old guys, are still there. Ian Hill and
Yeah.
everything. So I guess Slayer has a couple of good years
Yeah.
ahead of them.
Yeah.
Who
And
knows? They might go on into their 70s.
yeah, as
Never
long as
know.
their drummers is holding up to the pace,
Yeah. Yeah. You need a younger guy for that. I
They
think,
might
yeah.
need a
Yeah,
masseuse now to
maybe.
run in.
Yeah. I
So
prefer Dave Lombardo, by the way.
So
I'm
do
more
we.
into I think that's my kind of a drumming because I don't know if I'm old, but I like it better.
mhm.
He's not a bad drummer for Bostov, but he's an excellent drummer. But Slayer, I would prefer to hear Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you. So, Dawn of the Dam was a concept album, but this one I don't think it is. Do you have a preference? Do you like doing concept albums, or which how do you like
S-
concept albums?
Actually, but concept album is more or less it's tougher to do it, but I think it's more value to the release because it has the same vibe in the whole from A to B, or
Yeah.
A to the last letter in your way said. But
Right.
you have you can grasp the package from start to the end, and to make an album that way is amazing. It's more work just putting out some extra songs. I have a happy song here, and now we have a
Right.
tough song. You just you have to find the whole spectra in the same vibe. The riffs and the sound and everything has to be the same, and the lyrics for a reason has to be in an order, in some kind of way, in an artistic way also. So it's a tough way to do a concept album. But yeah, if I prefer it, I would like to say I prefer it more than just release an album with no content, just sporadic contents. I think In the Twilight Grey is also some kind of, not a concept album, I would say. It's more like it has the same feeling of a concept album, but it's more separate ways of lyrics. You know, they don't connect to each other in the way that it did on Dawn of the Damned. But I would prefer a concept album. It's much more greater artistically made. It's more beautiful to do it. Tougher and greater.
That's
So
great.
I want to say if I'm getting this right, the permeating theme through the Twilight Grey is kind of facing your own mortality and whether you're going to embrace it or not. Is that kind of the running?
If it's that the running, it's not like a theme on the whole album, but in the Twilight Grey, it's like some kind of when you're in the wolf hour, everything seems tough and you're scared, but some kind of embrace it, embrace your mortality, as you said. I think that's some kind of a way of letting go and just live with the situation that you are. Everything is like you can lose it anytime. It's just air floating, you know. You could die anywhere.
Yeah, we certainly learned that. We used to watch a show called 6 Feet Under, and it's about a family that owns a mortuary, and every episode begins with kind of this freak death of some sort. Some freakier than others, but after
it's
that,
the old series, 6 Feet Under, I guess.
Yes.
It's
The old one,
been
yeah.
around for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I get the picture.
Yeah. Whether you're getting, people died in such elaborate ways that just in the first 5 minutes you're either getting run over by a tractor trailer or you're just choking on a meatball. It's like you never knew how they were going to go. It's very unexpected. So yeah.
I also like the whole Clavis Infernae idea, the key of hell. It so reminded me, I don't know, of the Ash and the Evil Dead series, which is a great little series. It's done now, but they have this book that they can summon kind of like evil and the dead. And then I was surprised to see it was actually an 18th century manual on magic. How in the world did you guys get that into a song?
You shouldn't ask me that. It's Sebastian, he has his minds on how to do stuff, and he felt like this song is exactly a good song to put this kind of thought into to words on that kind of riff, and actually it's really good. It's like when you hear it the first time, you don't get it. But when you hear it the second and the third, it's like, wow, that was a good one. And it's like, that's the rawness and it has the energy of and everything. And I mean, as long as you have the energy in these words and stuff, that works. That works. So if you put it in a way of every album should have some kind of a classic devil worship song or something, or kind of a song where you do the magic, and if you do it in a good way like this, it works. It's but actually, he's pretty, he knows what he's talking about. No, I'm just trying to catch up.
Do you know anything about like that Paimon the Horned Cat or the Dark Bird or what their backstories are?
No, I'm not that readable so deeply that these guys are, but I'm more into well, I guess I know some stuff, but not that Paimon and everything and Horncat and stuff, because I'm not a satanic guy into this old witchcraft, I'm more into thinking of intellectual Satanism, how to change the world and stuff, and how you can live with it in these days. politics and stuff, and how to develop as a person in manifest these thoughts about freedom. You are your own God. You
Right.
are the master of your own decisions, and how to master yourself without any knowledge from like lean on some kind of a top guy. Oh, this is my religion. I pray to this guy because
Oh,
of
right.
guidance. I don't guidance from myself and surrounding. So that is my way of trying to express my kind of Satanism, if you call it so, in a way of not being symbolic in some kind of ways, but mostly trying to talk to people about how you do it, how you express yourself, what is the pressure, why is you, who is controlling you, why are you not controlling yourself, why are you not the master of yourself. That is my kind of way of dealing with this.
Yeah, I
But I'm
kind of
glad these
agree with
guys
that.
can know their history and stuff. I know a little bit about Ishtar. You know, that's a song we have on the album. As Stars Collide, for instance, is about the goddess Ishtar, or Inanna, also known as the one of the oldest histories. Ishtar is Easter, actually. They celebrated Easter, and they stole the whole concept of the Easter and turned it to Christianity, Jewishm, and everything. But actually, it's a really old story about Ishtar, the goddess, and stuff. And that is more interesting to find the core, where it comes from, to
Right.
search for the core. You know, there's so many, like Christianity is based on stealing from other religions, the good stuff. They think this is good. We have to embrace this, you know, like Yule, you know, Christmas. There's uprising and the death. That's why Jesus died on December to be what do you call it?
Resurrected. Yeah. Yeah.
Resurrected
Right.
in the January. That's where the sun is coming. That's from the Ra culture from Egypt. They have 13 months, 12 months, and 12 months, 12 apostles stole everything. Just a
Wow.
fucking stole a religion of stealing.
It's a religion of plagiarism.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's actually, it stole every part of it. Everything just forming into this new religion where we can control it, you know, and making some kind of a buck from it. Probably.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
all about the money at the end of the
All
day.
about
That's just
money
it.
Yeah.
and the getting pussy and
Very good.
stuff.
Very good. Oh, well, we play a game on the show, and
Yeah.
I think you'll really like it. It's called Blaspheming Monikers. Okay. So here's how the game works: is I have 5 band names in front of me. One is made up. So I want you to try to guess which one of these is not a real band. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
I will suck on this.
1, Mental Horror. 2, Cassandra's Horror. 3, Horror Department. 4, Sentient Horror. And 5, Inherit the Horror.
Cassandra's Horror sounds like a fake name, but actually, I think the first one was the fake name.
No, the first one, Mental Horror, is they're death metal from Brazil. They have 3 albums.
Ah,
So that leaves Cassandra, Horror Department, Sentient Horror, and Inherit the Horror.
then it's Horror Department.
And now they're from Italy, death metal. 1 EP. So you were
Fucking
right the first time.
Italians.
It was Cassandra's that I made up, actually.
It was
So
Cassandra's.
Yeah,
I should
it was,
go for good instinct.
it's a good one, right? I know.
It was a good one. Cassandras. I don't know, but sound like, yeah, it could be it.
You had a little
Maybe
bit of
not.
that had a little bit of a King Diamond vibe to it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's a
Mm.
good one. It was-
So good job. Good job. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, originally you had us completely confused with the Ascension, because at first we were like, okay, part 4. So I had to go all the way back to the dark side to find the other 3. So why did you guys kind of decide to bring that back now?
Actually, it's always a ascension from some kind of a way in from every record. You know, you have you're getting older, you're getting wiser, you're getting new points of life, you get the looks of life, and to have ascension, you don't do one ascension, you do a couple of them. You die, and then you ascend to be another person. So I think it could be more ascensions on the way in front of us. But as long as you die and you create, ways of life, something you don't stick in the same matter or pattern or something, you just develop yourself. And every time you develop, it's an ascension. And an ascension should be not like it's necessary to do a song on it, but I think since it's a tradition from the dark side area, it's good to have it. I
Yeah.
mean, why not?
Why not?
I
It's
like
like
the whole
yeah,
phoenix rising from the flames.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And if you listen to all the Ascension songs in a row, you can feel some kind of connection between them, and you can see the development.
That's very
You can
cool.
see the how it has evolved.
It took us a while, but we finally figured out
We
where the
figured
other
it out.
parts were.
Yeah.
It always takes some time to figure stuff out,
Yeah. And
especially if it's
we're
tough ones.
longtime fans too, but it kind
Yeah.
of stumped me. Yeah. Yeah.
So I really liked the idea of the contest. Who could play that solo from Stormcrow to win the CD book? Did you guys get a lot of entries for that?
Yeah, I guess there was some kind of a couple of them, and it was fun to watch them all. And we didn't know exactly what to find. It's good to have some people who know exactly the version, and then you have some people doing some kind of a version, and you have the guys who did exactly the opposite. He did his own version. I think that's more fun to watch. That was why he became the winner, because it was like he's taking our stuff, said, "Yeah, this is good, but I got another one coming. I wanted to sound like this. I think that would work too." And that's creative mind, and have a mind on that's own. I think that's a winner in every case.
I see these videos of these kids playing these insane instruments. I would be afraid that some 12-year-old kid would play it better than I did.
Just let it loose, just as long as you planted the seed, that's the good thing.
Exactly.
Just see how it grows. Oh, fuck, that went to fucking oak.
That's some 12-year-old in Japan is just
Yeah,
turning it up,
exactly.
Yeah.
Do have the 5 guys in the Korean, North Korea, where they play the guitars like this.
Oh yeah,
Woo, that would be the highlight of the
exactly.
fight. So I guess the last gig we did was some kind of we did a release show in Gothenburg on the 23rd of March in Sweden, and it was the birth of a new metal club in Stockholm called the Gothenburg Metal Temple, and they wanted us to be the headline on that show, and compared to, I mean, to be some kind of release show for Necrophobic's new album, The Twilight Grey. And we did have a show in the week before, right after the release on the 60th in Heidelberg. And it was kind of cool anyway, but it was better gig in Gothenburg because it was hometown, not a hometown, but home country. So that was amazing. And all the Swedish bands, there was some, Swedish bands that were beginners. They don't have time to play that much. They don't have a booker, don't have a record company. So there was some small bands coming up, and they were appreciate like, oh, we're gonna be a helpful support act to Necrophobic. And that was kind of a good feeling to see these guys. They're still like this. They want to, start a
Yeah.
career. And there were a great atmosphere and everything. The house was packed. It was a great show and everything. So good to be back on the saddle with new songs and a new album in the in the front of us and everything. So I even got a new stage costume. We have to be like changing. I've been wearing this kind of cape for 10 years now. It's like, okay, I got to get a new one. Get a new wardrobe. So
Yeah.
and it's
That's great though. You guys are great. I would think you'd be a great inspiration to young bands because you guys have been so consistent and you've always done, like you said, no weak albums.
No.
I think that's great. That's something really good that you can be, I think, feel very proud of. And that's probably what these young bands want,
It's a lot of a discipline, and a highlight of how do you work as persons and how do you work as a group. Of course, there are people with in the bands that there could be some moments during years where there'll be some friction and stuff, but we always like get to the core and solve the problem, and we're intelligent beings that don't push each other over the the cliff. We just keep ourselves on the top, and we are sorting everything out because we know this is good, and we want to develop as a band We want to be I mean, if people come to see us as a band, you have to give everything. There should be no confusion, everything that you have. What the fuck? That guy was drunk. Actually, couldn't play. We want to deliver everything, and everything. So it's good. It's a good package,
That's funny. We interviewed Mark from Jag Panzer, and he said, because he's had such amazing guitar players in and out of his band. Now I asked him, how do you choose a guitar player? And his answer was great. He said, we sign everything they put in front of us. We stand outside and we meet every fan. We shake every hand. That's the most important thing. I don't care how good you play. I can get a great player anywhere. I mean, that was a great answer, I thought.
I think that's a good. He has nailed. The thing is to have to meet the crowd, and connect with the crowd.
Exactly.
Find this boiling togetherness that is awesome, and to get this vibe where everybody is like, oh, we're boiling, the roof is fucking on fire, and everything, and try to hold it try to hold the house, not burn it down.
Well, hopefully we'll get you back over here to Maryland Death Fest, or now we have Hell in the Harbor too. So
yeah, it'd be great. Yes.
We won't miss you this time.
No.
We won't get lured away by Gaza.
We will get back to you as soon as we can,
That'd be great.
Yeah,
well,
chasing the the guys who's walking as zombies on the street. They're like, hey, get out of here! It's a metal town now.
We want to go to Sweden because there's so many bands we love. We were interviewing Joanna from Lucifer a couple months ago, and I said to her, I said, "What is it like in Stockholm? Do you just like walk down the street and you're like, oh, there's Mickey D, and then oh no, there's Michael Monroe," and she goes, "Yeah, that is what it's like."
Yeah, I know.
I was like, "Son of a bitch,"
Just go into the street and they're like, "Hey,
rock stars everywhere."
Yeah, rock stars everywhere. I think there was back in the 90s. There was a guy from Texas who's coming to Stockholm, and he just ended up on the House of Sound Pollution in the record store. And he was like buying a couple of albums, and I was like, "What the fuck? You're buying a couple of albums?" "Yeah, I'm from Texas, And I said, "Yeah, wait, come to us and you hang out with us." And he was like, "It's amazing to be here. I'm from Texas." Or I think maybe it was from California or something. But he just went off this. He was coming on a trip to Sweden with his aunt and something, and he went to. As soon as he stepped out of the train station in Stockholm, he saw a guy with a metal t-shirt or D-side t-shirt or something. He was like, "Well, I'm home. This is a good place to stay, And I showed him around the places that, the clubs and everything. And he was like, "This is amazing, And so I don't remember his name, but it's a kind of that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's walking around with metal t-shirts. It's not like a non-typical thing. It happens.
Really cool.
Yeah, I always feel good when I walk into Maryland Death Fest. I'm like, I am home. These are my people. Because you don't see it every day.
That's true. Yeah.
That's good.
Keep making great videos. We love them. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep. We're doing it. It's coming up more.
We're changed. We're changed.
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.